This episode has been brought to you by Fornos Law Firm, devoted to optimizing your legal results at fornoslaw.com.
Welcome to Push Room, where we talk about disability news, culture, interviews, and more. I'm Ray Pizarro.
I'm Richard Bell.
Today we are on location at S.C.R.S, Southern California Resource Services for Independent Living. We are here with our good friends, Keith Miller and Hector Ochoa. Thanks a lot for having us today.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you for having us. Thank you for the crew that you brought along Push Room Foundation.
Yeah,
thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks for having such nice weather here in beautiful Downey, California.
Right.
So anyway, how did you guys get started?
S.C.R.S was founded in 1979 here in the city of Downey, and it all stems from a movement that started up in Berkeley, with which Keith will touch on. But just a group of passionate advocates decided that our city here and our communities needed services and advocacy efforts for people with disabilities, and that's kind of where S.C.R.S was born, and we've been around since then.
Kudos for them seeing that there was a need for that.
Right. In order to understand independent living centers, you need to know a little bit of the history of the ILC movement. Back in 1972, which was right around the end, coming to the end of the Vietnam War, and the whole Woodstock era and the whole hippie movement was occurring. There was a lot of other things that were moving on at the same time, and that was the disability movement. Back in 72, students with who had physical disabilities were being accepted into the university, but if you've ever been to Berkeley, you'll know it has a lot of hills and a lot of stairs.
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
The problem was that students couldn't get to the classrooms. And out of that became a whole movement of advocates that Hector mentioned earlier. Also, a gentleman named Ed Robinson was part of that whole movement. And what came out of that was the disability movement that was the start of the independent movement. The first ILC actually was operated back in Berkeley.
That's great. I mean, we already know how important it is for us to tap into resources after we get hurt. I mean, it's vital, right? I mean, one resource could really change your life in different ways. As far as the different programs that you have here, could you run us a little list of the different awesome programs you provide?
Sure, we can do that. I'll take a few, Hector. Really, ILCs are really advocacy organizations. We're founded on advocating on behalf of people to make it fair for everybody. So we do advocacy. We look at advocacy in a way of looking at systemic changes that may impact people on a federal, state, or local level.
Yeah, so every independent living center operates on 5 core services. Outside of those core services, then each independent living center is independent in the sense of the additional programs and services that we offer. And S.C.R.S is unique in the programs and services that we're able to offer here at our center, which extends from computer classes to youth services, housing assistance, benefits planning, a whole array of things that are relevant to people with disabilities. We look at the need, we look at the gaps, and we kind of try and tailor around those things.
And you guys are considered a 501c3 nonprofit organization?
We are. So we're funded through the federal government that drops down to the state level. What makes ILCs very unique is that consumers, the staff here do not choose the goals for the consumers choose their own goals, okay? The bylaws of all ILCs, there's 28 of them in the state of California, and there's ILCs in how many are there, Hector, throughout the country?
There's over 500 of them throughout the United States.
And every ILC, that 52% of the people that work for an ILC must have a disability. What makes us so unique in other ways is that we don't target our populations of who comes in for services. Anyone with any type of disability could use our services here. So we don't ask for paperwork. All you have to do is the 2 criteria to receive services here at our ILC or all independent living centers is 1 is you're a person that identifies yourself with a disability, and 2, you could benefit from our services.
All right, so I can just roll in.
You could just roll in
And say, hey,
you
can I get some services?
Right.
Like, is it expensive? How much is it?
So as a 501c3, all of our services are free to the consumers. So again, as
Free?
Keith mentioned, free.
So if it's free, it's for me.
There's nothing better than free.
We like that. Cool. So what are your hours of operation and all that fun stuff?
We operate under normal business hours, which is usually Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. And that's throughout all of our offices. So we have 4 offices here in Downey, Alhambra, East LA, and Altadena.
That was my segue to the other question. Do you guys work with other ILCs that are not in your region to maybe refer people out to or help each other out with different new programs and services?
Yeah, that's actually one of our core services is information and referrals. So we always try and let our consumers know that although we won't turn them away if they choose to work with us, if they live outside of the cities that fall within our region, they're also more than welcome to go to a center that's closer to them. But again, we don't turn anyone away. So if they choose to work with S.C.R.S, that's perfectly fine. They just need to know that there's a center closer. That oftentimes may be easier for them.
So is there like a website where we could find the one nearest to our location?
Yeah, so there is a website. You could also go on the Department of Rehabilitation's website and just put ILCs, and they all pop up. You put your zip code in there. I did want to talk a little bit more about our core services, or our services that we do provide. We talked about advocacy. Did we talk about peer counseling?
No.
We do peer counseling here.
Oh, okay.
So the peer counseling is a really important component. So this is for people to come on in and talk to someone else with a disability who works here and just talk about counseling. I mean, what they need, the needs. So if someone has a recent, spinal cord injury and they need to talk to somebody, they may talk to someone else who has a spinal cord injury here. Behind a closed door session, we're not therapists, we're paraprofessionals here. So that's one of our services that we do. We also do benefits assistance. We help people with benefits, okay?
Very important.
So what does that mean? That means we may someone who has a recent disability who may need to apply for SSI, supplemental income, or SDI. Or what if someone's on that benefit and they want to go back to work? They don't want to be on a fixed income. How do we help them to understand how that impacts their Medi-Cal or their Medi-Medi? How does that work? Because people want to make more money, but they don't want to lose their benefits necessarily. Maybe the employer's not paying for the benefit, or maybe they have doctors they'd like to see. They don't want to change that. So we do benefits assistance. We also do assistive technology. Hector, you want to take that one?
Yeah, so anyone looking for any type of assistive technology, whether it's a wheelchair, a walker, a cane, or something a little more sophisticated. Maybe you need a computer, maybe you need a bed that helps turn you to alleviate pressure points, or all those things that oftentimes insurances don't cover. We have different avenues that we explore. We have a reuse center, so if we have it in stock and available, then 9 times out of 10 you can walk out with that item once you're a consumer of our center. If we don't have the item, then we help you look for the item, or if it's out of your reach financially, then we can also help with writing a grant that will help you obtain that item, whatever it may be, whether it's hearing aids, dental services, different things like that.
That is incredibly important, along with the peer counseling. Because, I can speak with experience on that. I know you can too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what got us out of the house.
Right.
Yeah. And exactly, you just mentioned a house. We also do home modifications. So we work with certain cities who have block grants available, or sometimes we have funding internally, but that's on a case-by-case basis. Mm-hmm. And we can also help with home modifications, whether you need a ramp, whether you need to retrofit your doorways, your restroom, your shower, things like that, grab bars. We help with those things as well.
And I want to add to that, a lot of times people come in here and they don't have Medi-Cal, or maybe they're not here legally. We don't know. We do not discriminate. We do not care. Okay? We don't ask for any kind of identification.
Right, because if you need help, you need help.
You need help. The assistive technology is really important, because if someone needs a ramp, we help them with the ramp. Okay? If we could do it, we will. Okay? Wheelchairs, walkers. So our assistive technology is really important. But it's also used for people who go back to work, who may need some type of devices to modify their desk, to lift their desk up high, or a certain type of chair, or a keyboard, or a monitor, or some type of adaptive equipment that is voice recognition. So if we could get those things, then we will. We also do, outside of assistive technology, we also help people go back to work in employment services. We're contracted through the State Department of Rehabilitation to help people go back to work. What they do is we hook them up to the Department of Rehabilitation. Once they're hooked up, we provide job coaches or job developers. We help them through different phases of their employment search, and ultimately we try to help them retain their employment.
Yeah, I wish I would have came to you guys when I was looking for a job, because I had to turn in almost 100 applications before I got that desk job, after getting hurt. The main thing I wanted to do is just work, after you get hurt. It's something about feeling good that you're trying to integrate yourself back into the community, and being independent as possible and pay some bills and maybe go on a vacation or two, right? I mean, we all strive for that.
Yeah, well, let's get back to some more independent living discussion after this.
This episode has been brought to you by our good friends at Precision Rehabilitation, neuro rehab at its finest. For more information, visit them at precisionrehabilitation.com.
And we're back. So, Keith, could you tell us a little bit of other services that you provide?
Yeah, sure, Ray. So Hector and I have been sort of going over our services here. There's a few more that we'd like to touch upon. One of our other services that we do is Transitional Services for people who end up in nursing homes. So that is one of the new core services that is funded through the federal government that we're mandated to do. And what that means is that when someone ends up in a nursing home and they want to get out, independent living centers, all independent living centers help people get out of nursing homes.
Wow.
So we help coordinate the services. As you know, sometimes people attain an injury, or it could be a dumping ground for people. People just don't want to live there. And they have all the means in the world to live independently, which we're all about. So if we could help them transition out of a nursing facility to live in the community on their own with resources that would be available to them, that's really important to us.
Yeah, and it's really important to them too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, living independently, there's no better feeling.
No, not at all. And I also heard that you guys have some support groups, right? Throughout the months and stuff.
Yeah, so we have a calendar of things going on here at the center, which all of that information is available on our website. But some of the support groups that we have is a men's support group, a women's support group. We have a support group for the LGBT community of people with disabilities. We have a youth group that meets here several times a month. We have an advocacy group. So if you're interested in community organizing, learning how to advocate for yourself or for others, we have a advocacy group that just started. Yeah, so a lot of different things. And then we have our workshops. We do workshops, other different community partners and organizations that come in to share about their services, but also workshops on money management, benefits planning, housing workshops, all those different areas as well.
Nice. Do you guys work closely with the Rancho Los Amigos Rehabilitation Hospital next to you?
Yeah,
guys?
so we're very fortunate in that our office is right across the street from Rancho Los Amigos Hospital.
Yes.
So it's such a large hospital, and so we're constantly having to remind them that we are here and, letting them know of our services and to use us. We're very underutilized, and I think Keith is doing a great job of continuing to remind the staff over there and the patients that we're here, and we're here to provide services, whatever they may need.
Absolutely. And is all that noise from the construction, the renovation project bothering you guys?
I don't think we hear it over here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not too bad. But there's a lot of really good things happening over there,
yeah.
especially with the
Looks
opening
nice.
of the new wellness center. We're definitely trying to work together to see how, we can use their facilities and them use ours if needed.
Another service that we provide over here is transitional services for youth. And this is really important for all ILCs again. And I think I'll let Hector elaborate on that just a little bit.
I don't think it's a secret that youth are our future, and there's a big emphasis with independent living centers to provide youth services and help the youth transition from high school either to post-secondary education or high school to employment. Oftentimes, and I'm a testament to that, once you're done with high school, like that's your safety net. And once you're done, you don't know, you're lost. You don't know what else is out there. And so we're trying to capture those youth that are still in high school and let them know, independent living centers are here, and we're here to help. I think one of the exciting things that we just wrapped up for our center is a STEM pilot project. Youth with disabilities are building a portable Braille embosser that hopefully once we get through all of the phases, we'll be able to manufacture that Braille embosser and give to the blind community for free, because assistive technology is really expensive. Anything from modified vehicles to home modifications to that Braille embosser. A printer for someone who is blind is at least $2,500. So if we can help, at least in that way, and give them for free.
Invaluable. That's great. Yeah. As far as youth goes, what's age ranges?
So the youth that we work with is typically ages 14 to 26. But again, our center and all independent living centers work with people of all ages and all disabilities. We're a cross-disability organization. So it doesn't matter what your disability is or what your age is. But for youth services, it's 14 to 26.
We're not a medical model facility. Okay. We don't operate on the medical premise at all. Regardless of what your disability is, we will provide the service.
Great.
Okay.
Before I forget, would you like to talk a little bit about the parade, the first annual parade you guys had last year, and what's to come in the future?
Yeah, we had our first annual Disability Pride Parade last year here in the city of Downey, and our goal was in hopes that we'd draw at least 300 people. That's how many meals we purchased with the In-N-Out truck, and fortunately, we got a little over 800 people for our first year, which is amazing. Yeah, exactly. So this year, we definitely want to go bigger. Surprise to the city of Downey, but we're leaving Downey. We're going to East LA, and they have a beautiful location at the Civic Center. So on October 8th of this year, 2017, we'll be doing the second annual Disability Pride Parade and Festival in East LA. And thanks to Supervisor Hilda Solis from that district, it'll be possible, so.
Well, thank you guys for that big collaborative effort. It always takes a team to put that big project together. So we're glad to be able to help in any way to get more people out there to know it exists and, stimulate more outreach for you guys. Whatever we can do to help, we'll be more than happy to do that.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, we're really, I just want to add that we're really thankful to Push Rim for your assistance, in helping us get the word out. You guys were a great supporter and sponsor of our event. So thank you guys for helping us in those efforts.
Man, thank you guys. Are you kidding? All these resources, man, we can't live without this.
I'm going to make sure I pick up a stack before I leave so I could have them in my back seat and just hand them randomly to people.
Yeah, for sure.
Somebody's always going to need one thing, and it's good to come to a hub like you guys that have a little bit of everything to help people out. If not, you'll find it for them, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
We have a long history, so. Yeah.
And where can we find you guys online?
So you can go on our website, www.scrs-ilc.org. And then the Disability Pride Parade website has its own website, and that's disabilitypridela.com.
Anything else you'd like to add, Keith?
Yeah, so if someone needs our services or is in need of our services, all they have to do is come through the doors, okay? They could call to make an appointment. We're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. That's all they need to do.
And I have to say, when I came in this morning, for the first time ever, the receptionist greeted me with a big smile. I felt very welcome. And this is a really nice place. So if you need any of these services, please come down.
They'll help you in any way they can. And with that, we leave you guys. We want to thank you guys again for allowing us to share your awesome resources here at S.C.R.S. And hopefully you guys will tune in and check out their website and all the great things you guys do for the community.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Having us.
We want to thank Maker City LA for allowing us the opportunity to create these podcasts. For more information, visit them at makercityla.com.